everybody, how's it going? I'm Paul, and with I fired off the something new bumper. I'm so sorry. As I was saying, I'm Paul, I'm with the Dicey Review, and tonight we are here. I'm randomly streaming on a Monday night for a few reasons. Number one, I felt like playing a game, and number two, I wanted to check out and see how the Restream free multi-stream feature worked with my personal channel. So hopefully right now, fingers crossed, we should be streaming to YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and Twitter. So if you're joining us from any of those outlets, welcome. How's it going? Hopefully you enjoy city building in Prague in the 15th century. I think this is the 15th century. We'll get into that here in a second. But before we get into all of that, hopefully you all are having a fantastic evening. Hopefully everybody's doing great. If you're in the chat hanging out, say hey or not. Either way is totally fine. Hey Ruby, how's it going? It's good to see you. Let's see here. Wealthy citizens. Well, it just says medieval Prague. So tonight we are in medieval Prague, hopefully building this city with this beautiful, beautiful board. So this is a game I like quite a bit. This is from the designer of Underwater Cities. So this is his next game that he released after Underwater Cities. And then he has another new game coming out, but this one came out in between those two. And it's really cool. It's a pretty straightforward game, even though the board looks really busy. But we'll talk through how to play it here in just a second. And the solo version is almost identical to the multiplayer version. You just skip the other player's turn and take another turn, like one after the other. So that's pretty much how it goes. But how do we play? Well, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the most victory points, the most king's favor. Shocker. We're going to be doing that over a total of, I think, 16 turns. It's basically, you'll take an action tile and then this wheel will rotate, and after it rotates a certain number of times, this cube will fall off the board and the game will be over. In a two-player game, it starts right here, so we have fewer rotations. Anyway, on your turn in this game, what you're doing is you are going to be selecting a tile from this wheel, any available tile, and that will give you a particular action that you can take and a particular bonus depending on where you take it. You'll take one of the two actions on the tile that you take, so each tile has two actions that they display. And then after that, the wheel will rotate one space, and then you'll put the tile back at the top. And you'll keep doing that until the game is over. Now, depending on where you take one of these action tiles, like I said, each of these action tiles has two actions printed on them. So you can either take the tile action or the alternate action, which is like production or King's Road actions or things like that, which we'll talk about in a second. But depending on where you take this tile from, you will get a benefit associated with the space. So for instance, if I take this tile right here, I would gain this benefit from the middle of the wheel, which is just one rock. I would get one rock from taking that action. But in addition, there are some bonuses or penalties that you might have to pay or that you can receive depending on where you take an action tile as well. Ruby, this game is called Praga, Caput, Regni. Pronunciation check? I know I butchered that. We're building the city of Prague. So the game is called Praga, Caput, Regni, or Regni. I don't know how that's pronounced. We don't have any cities like that in Texas, as you well know. So like I said, depending on where you take the action tile from, you might have to pay a penalty. So for instance, if you see these red spaces have gold that you have to pay, and the blue action spaces have victory points that you might get as well. So for instance, if I take this action tile, I would have to pay 1 gold, and then I would also have a benefit that I could take of paying a gold to get an egg, and then I would take one of the actions on the tiles. So as far as what the actions do, there are 6 actions that you can take, but a lot of them are really similar. 3 of the actions relate to getting tiles that you'll place either out on the board or around your player area. And then three of the actions, or two of the actions relate to just increasing your production, and then one of the actions relates to going along this road right here. Is this one like Tuscany, Castles of Tuscany? This one is, it's hard to say what this one is like. This one is, it's a bit of action selection, but there's bonuses and timing based on where you pick your action from. It's really cool. I like this game. I don't like it as much as Underwater Cities, I don't think, but I like it the more I play it. So it's kind of, I don't know what it's like, to be honest with you, Ruby. It's kind of similar to, I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. I'll have to get back to you on that one, if you know, because it has elements of a lot of different really cool games. It has these cool tracks that you can go up on. It has different city building spaces where you can get bonuses if you have the most majority around these plaza tiles. It's got some really cool stuff going on. So like I said, what you do in your turns, you take one action tile, you gain the benefit associated in the middle of the wheel, and then you take one of the two actions on the tile. So let's say, for instance, that I decided to take this action tile. I would have to pay 1 gold because there's a penalty of taking from the red. I would then get 1 window, which windows are special tiles that you can use to take extra turns and move up on these tracks over here, which we can talk about in a second. And then I would get to take one of these two actions. So when you look at the tiles, they have 2 available actions on them. You can either take the top or the bottom in any order, because you can also take the bonus in any order as well. So for instance, I could take my action of the tile and then get this window after that, or I could get the window before my action, and then I could take one of these actions after that bonus. But there are 2 actions that are related to increasing production. So we'll look at those first. So if you take the top actions of either one of these tiles, it is either producing gold or producing stone, or increasing the production of gold or stone. So if you look down here on your tracks, whenever you produce one of your resources, you get everything to the left of your cube, the rightmost space to the left of your cube, as production. So for instance, if I were to produce gold, I would get 3 gold because I have 3 as the highest number showing. If I were to produce rocks, which is the lower symbol on these tiles, I would get 2 rocks because I currently have 2 as the farthest open space showing. The top action, anytime you see a wheelbarrow or a gold chest, that's increasing your production. And then it also says gain 1 of the resource. So for instance, if I were to increase my production, you would move your cube 1 space to the right, and then you would get 1 of the good. So for instance, if I increased my gold production and then I gained 1, I would move the cube and then I would gain 3, or gain up to 3 gold. Now, as you move these trackers up, you might knock off certain cubes that'll give you bonuses. Like if you uncover this cube, for instance, you will get to increase your book track right here, which does a cool thing for you. It allows you to get some technology. These are supposed to start down on 0, I believe. So that's increasing the production and gaining a resource. You would increase your cube by 1, and then you would gain 1 of those resources. And you can see as you move your cube along the space, along these tracks to the right, you will increase what you get whenever you produce. So for instance, if I were to produce gold, when my track has got the cube all the way over here, I would gain 2 victory points, because these are the symbols for victory points, and I would gain 5 gold. Hey, what's up, Brandon? Yes, my move did go well. We are currently in between houses. So right now I'm in my office area hanging out where I stream and work. And then we're building a house that'll be ready hopefully before the end of the year. We'll see. Who knows? The bricks haven't even arrived yet. So, but the inside's almost done. So that's increasing your production and producing. As you move this cube along these tracks, you will see some symbols of bonuses that you'll gain, which we'll talk about during the game. If you get to this spot right here, you gain a cool little bonus that you get to put in this pickaxe spot that will produce every time you produce that resource. If you cross over this spot, You would also get an egg every time you produce, in addition to the victory points and whatever token you put there. And then if you reach the end of any of these tracks, you get a seal that you can unlock, which gives you extra in-game points, which is cool. But that's generally how production works. You move the cube to the right, or you produce everything showing to the left, and the highest number showing to the left. So those are how those two actions work. The other actions that you can take all relate to getting tiles. So, for instance, if I look at these three actions on the bottom, these three actions relate to getting the three different tiles on the board. So for instance, if you select this bottom action, or this bottom action, this one would give you a gray tile, this one would give you a red tile, this one would give you a yellow tile. Let's start off by looking at the yellow upgrade tiles, what they do. So these upgrade tiles, these three are normal, and this is a special tile. You can only pick the special tile if you get a particular bonus on the inside of the wheel. But let's just say that I decided to get, this tile right here. Whenever you take a special tile, which is this bottom action right here, an upgrade tile, you get to come down here on your wheel of actions, and you get to upgrade one of your actions. Now you have to put it on the spot that matches the action. So for instance, this is the upgrade action. So if I choose this tile, I would have to place it on the upgrade spot. When you do that, you get to increase one space on the university track. So the university track is this one right here, because it shows a 1 right there. And then every time in the future, whenever you take this associated action, you get a potential benefit. So for instance, every time I take the upgrade action, which is getting more yellow tiles, I could spend a gold to get one window. And the windows are cool because you can spend them to move up on these tracks over here, move up a level, which we can talk about in a second. Or you can move up a level, or you can spend them to take an extra turn. But you have to have gold windows to do that. So whenever you place these tiles, they will upgrade the actions that you take. And the cool thing is that they can upgrade, in this case, they could upgrade retroactively. So the upgrade tile right here, after you take this action, you could actually use this action or upgrade. You could get the benefit from taking this action. So since this is the upgrade action and you're currently taking the upgrade action, you could right away take that bonus. The other tiles, you'd have to wait until a later turn to take that to get that upgrade bonus. But if you place that tile down, it's basically just going to power up your actions throughout the game. Every time you take one of these actions, you'll get a benefit for doing so. Now you'll notice there's also these little windows, or these little cutouts on the side. There's also adjacency bonuses that you might get from placing these tiles in a particular orientation, because you can place them any direction you want to. So for instance, let's say on a future turn, I decided that I wanted to take a gray tile instead of a yellow upgrade tile. So let's say that I wanted to take this one right here. So these tiles are very similar to the upgrade tiles. The only difference is you have to pay to take them. So the upgrade tiles are free. These tiles right here, you have to pay the resource shown in the bottom to take that tile. So this one would cost 3 rocks to take this tile. So let's say that I had the 3 rocks. I would pay those 3 rocks, and then I would be able to place this tile. Now, when you're placing these tiles and you match up these window symbols, because you place the gray tiles as walls along the outside of your little city board right here, if you match these two symbols and gain an adjacency bonus, you get what's shown in both of the windows. So for instance, right here, I would get 3 victory points and 1 window symbol for matching these two bonuses together. There's also bonuses you can get for matching the red symbols down here in the corner. You can get little tokens for that, but we can talk about that here in a second. So most of these castle tiles will give you some type of a benefit, whether it's this blue symbol right here will move you up on the castle track. Some of them will also give you one-time benefits. So like right here, this one, it has a one-time benefit in a green window. It would give you an increased gold production as well as a little blue symbol. So there's benefits to building the walls in addition to getting adjacency bonuses potentially. So anytime you place one of these castle wall tiles, you could increase your standing on the castle track. So anytime you see one of these little blue symbols down here, that means that you get to move one space out on the castle track. So this is the castle track over here, and this is the cathedral track. So basically, whenever you build walls, you can increase your standing on the castle track. And anytime you see that little blue symbol, it means you can move one space to the left. Now that's good, because at the end of the game, the farther out to the left you are, the more victory points your blue tokens are going to be worth at the end of the game. And you can get blue tokens from building buildings out into the city. But you also want to try to increase your level vertically on the castle track as well as the game goes on. So not only do you want to move out to the left from building wall tiles, but you also want to move up, if you at all can, to increase your victory points at the end of the game, because these lines right here, the higher you get, the more victory points you'll get. In addition to the farther out you get, the more victory points you'll get from your blue tokens. So ideally you want to try and get as far to the top left as you can, and on the cathedral track you want to try and get as far to the top right as you can. Now there's a bit of a trick to doing that though, because anytime you get one of the blue castle symbols, you get to move to the left, but the only way that you can move up on this track is by spending windows. So one of the things that windows do for you is they allow you to increase your level on these monastery and castle tracks. So let's say, for instance, that I wanted to move up in addition to moving to the left. What I could do is spin 2 white windows, and for every pair of white windows you spend, you can move up 1 space on this track as well. Now, when you move over certain spots, you might get bonuses. Like, for instance, you see right here, you would get 3 victory points right away. If I move over here and I move up 1 space, I would get 1 more move immediately up, because there's an arrow that points up. So there's kind of a puzzle of how you time your movement on this track. And anytime you move up a level, so a tier, from this tier to this tier or this tier to that tier, you have to pay what's shown on the front of the wall as well. So it costs gold and rocks to move up different tiers. But basically at the end of the game, you want to try and get as far to the top left on this track and as far to the top right on this track. Because the farther you get, the more victory points you will get at the end of the game. So we've covered almost all of the tiles. The only other tile to talk about is the building tiles out in the city. So building tiles work in a very similar way to castle wall tiles. The only difference is you build them out into the city instead of around your castle board. So for instance, if I were to take, let's say I took this, let's say I took this castle tile right here. I would have to pay what's shown down here. So I'd have to pay 3 gold, and then I would be able to build this building out next to one of these plaza symbols. So you see how there's these different plaza tiles? You can build buildings around these plaza tiles to try and get benefits. There's kind of an area majority thing on some of the buildings, building around the plaza tiles, or you can just get one-time benefits from building these buildings as well. So let's say, for instance, that I decided to build this building right here. The orientation matters, because if you line up, there's also adjacency bonuses for these buildings right here. So if I built this building like here, right here where the blue is touching the blue, I would get 1 blue token, which every blue token at the end of the game is worth points based on how far I've gotten on the castle track. So the farther left I've gotten, the more points each token is worth. At the end of the game, each token would be worth 3 if I were on this spot right here. So the more tokens I get, the more points I will get. But the tricky thing is that these tiles, these building tiles, will actually move you on the cathedral track, but give you blue tokens. So you kind of have to balance the buildings that you build and how far you get on the opposite track. It's kind of a weird thing to think about. But let's say I built this building out. I would get a token if I've gotten that adjacency bonus right there. And then you would get whatever is shown in the green window if there was a one-time benefit. So I would get 1 blue token and I would get 1 window. And then in addition, if you see these this little symbol that says victory points with a question mark, that means that you're going to get victory points for every building that is around a particular plaza. So this plaza right here has spaces for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings. And if I built it right here, there would currently be 2 buildings around it, because in a 2-player game, a building starts on a couple of these spaces. So since there are 2 buildings around this plaza, I would get 2 victory points for building that building. Now, some buildings, like this one for instance, don't give you immediate victory points, they give you influence. So this building right here, for instance, whenever you build it, you would get to move one space on the cathedral track because it shows a red symbol. And then you would get to put one of your cubes on this building. And the reason that you want to do that is if a plaza gets filled up, this actually has 6 spaces, not 5, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, no, it's got 5. If a plaza gets filled up with buildings around it, whoever has the most influence around that plaza gets the rewards shown in that plaza. So for instance, I would get, if I have the most influence around this plaza and all of the buildings get filled up, I would get 5 points and 3 points in a golden window. So having the most influence there is definitely a good thing to do. If you don't have the most influence, you just get to pick one of the 2 rewards instead of both of them. And you can build buildings up in the higher part of the city. Some of these buildings, some of these spots have really nice rewards. Like if I cover this spot, I would get 3 victory points, but you have to pay 2 gold in addition to whatever the cost of the building is. So there's some premium spots that you can build on. They might just cost more money. So that is generally how all of the tiles work. The only other thing to talk about, to take these special tiles, you have to select an action tile that gives you this S bonus. That's the only way that you could take those tiles. So for instance, if I took the action tile from this spot, I could either get 1 victory point or I could select one of the special tiles because that S shows there as the bonus. So that being said, I don't remember where all of these things went. Let's say this one was right here. Let's say this one was right here, and there's only one other action to cover, and that is the King's Road action. So that's the little bridge icon right here. When you take that action, you get to move your little pawn to the next spot on the King's Road. And when you get there, you either get to select this action or this bonus, basically not an action. You get to select this bonus or this bonus. If you pay an egg, you can get a really good benefit from the King's Road, and if you don't pay an egg, you just gain 1 of 2 also pretty good benefits. The farther along this road you go, you'll get better and better benefits as you move to these different spaces. There's only 5 spaces to move on the King's Road, but the farther you move on the King's Road, eventually you could get to the bridge space, and if you get to one of these bridge spaces, you actually get to place a tile down, which is really beneficial because it allows you to get both things showing underneath the tile and then the thing showing on top of the tile in addition to that. So it's a really sweet benefit to get. Oh, sorry, it's got some scripting there. All right. So that's pretty much the whole game. We're going to play for 16 rounds, and it goes really quickly, honestly, because not 16 rounds, 16 turns. And it goes really quickly because you only have 16 turns in the game. So it's kind of one of those games where you never have enough time to do all the things that you want to do, but it's usually a pretty good idea to try and get some benefits, like some bonuses started early on your production, maybe some upgrade tiles early, and then those can help you get increased production for later in the game. There's also, believe it or not, since I've been streaming for almost 30 minutes already, there's also more things that I didn't cover, but that's okay because we can talk about some of those things as we play. Like what happens as you move up these tracks. These 2 tracks will also give you in-game victory points the higher you get on them. And then some of these little benefits right here when you uncover those, but we'll see those as we play the game. So I say we should go ahead and start, and then you can learn a little bit about the game as we go. So for my first action, I get to take any one of these 6 tiles, get the benefit associated with them, and then rotate the wheel. So I think what I'm going to do, these 2 actions look pretty good because there's no penalty for taking them, so they're not in the red space, so I wouldn't have to pay anything. And one of them would allow me to take a special tile. So if I look at the special tiles, the first one available is not that bad. It would increase my gold production. Well, I wouldn't be able to take that tile because it would have to be a gray tile. So let's look at the gray special tile and see if that's worth anything. So the gray special tile would cost 2 and 2, so it would cost all of my resources, but it is a pretty sweet tile. Okay, so I could do that. I could increase my production of either one of these things, and I could gain a rock, or I could gain a building. Well, you know what? I think to start off the game, I probably want to increase my production a little bit. And I think I would like to probably build castles, and I think those use more rocks. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this action tile. So when I take this action tile, I get a one-time benefit of a rock because I've taken it from here. So I'm going to go ahead and go down here, take this tile, and I will increase my rock. Okay, sorry, I'm supposed to start with 2. I will increase my rock supply by 1, so I've got 3. Now I can either decide whether or not I want to take a building action or a rock production or increase production action. I think what I'm going to do is, since I gained 1 rock, I'm going to go ahead and increase my rock production, which is the top slash on this action, which will also give me 1 more rock. So when you increase your production, you move 1 space to the right, which is pretty cool, because now on future turns, whenever I produce, I'm going to get 3 rocks instead of 2, and I'll get 1 victory point, because there's a victory point showing to the left of my cube. And then I'll gain 1 more rock, and that will be my turn. So what you do when you're done with your turn is you take your action tile, you rotate this wheel. Let's see here. Wait, how do you rotate the wheel? Good grief. Oh. Easy, easy. Okay, so you rotate the wheel and then you place the tile that you chose on the farthest open space on the wheel. So then in the solo mode, you have basically the computer player just take the farthest tile that is showing. Basically, they don't want tiles to get into the blue where you would get additional victory points for taking them. So they take that tile from me and it goes right here, and now it's my turn again. So I've increased my rock production. I would love to upgrade one of my actions, but I don't necessarily want to pay a gold to do that right now. So I may actually take this tile and just increase my gold production as well. Although I need to start doing some stuff. I think so on my next turn after this turn, I think I'm definitely going to take an upgrade tile. But I think for this turn, I'm just going to go ahead and increase my gold production. So I will increase my gold production by 1. That will give me 1 gold as well. And then if I can get to these 2 spaces right here, I will gain an extra benefit that I can unlock for one of the tracks. And as a bonus for taking that action, I could spend a gold to get an egg. Eggs are awesome. They allow you to do some really cool stuff, and they also are in-game victory points. So I think I'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and put this tile back. Oop, there's no open space, which means I have to rotate it 1 more time. So I think I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 of the gold that I gained to buy 1 egg. And now it is the computer's turn. So the computer will just take this tile, get rid of it, and now it's my turn again. So the cool thing is that now I have the ability to take an upgrade tile. I could either take one and get a gold, or I could take a special upgrade tile, and that special upgrade tile does look pretty sweet because it gives me the benefit of every time I take my gold production action, I would gain a rock. So I could maybe not focus on my rock production as much and just go heavy on gold if I did this. That's not a bad option. I think I'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this tile right here. Now that gives me the benefit of either getting 2 victory points or taking the special tile. 2 victory points is nothing to sneeze at. Good grief. Okay, well, it's okay. I'll go ahead and do without the victory points and take this tile because it's a pretty sweet tile. Let me just make sure that there's no other. Yeah, I think this one's pretty good. It gives me a lot of cool stuff. I'm going to go ahead and take this tile. Now, these upgrade tiles are free, and you have to place it. You do have to place it on the action that it's upgrading, so I'd have to place it on this right here. Now, I want to think about how I place this tile, because is there an upgrade tile for the castle action? There's not. So there's not currently. I was thinking if I could I might place this one like this, because if I then get a tile that upgrades my castle action and they have an adjacency bonus right here, it might be cool. But I don't see a castle upgrade tile available. Now, one thing you can do is you can always spend, I believe it's 1 gold or 1 stone to get some new tiles out in the display, so I could do that. But I don't want to mess with that. I think I'm just going to place it as is. And there's that special tile that comes out, which would upgrade my upgrade action, which would be pretty sweet as well. But anyway, that's later on down the road. So I've done the upgrade action. Now, when you put this upgrade tile out, a few things can happen. You can get adjacency bonuses, like I said, but you also get an increase on your university track, your hat track, whatever that is. So era 1 tiles give you 1 level, which we're in the era 1 right now. So this one would go up 1 space. But as we take upgrade tiles from era 2, as the game goes on, it'll move up 2 levels, which the farther you get, the more victory points you get at the end of the game. So that's great if I can do that. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. So that being said, I'll go ahead and rotate the wheel, put this one right here, and now the computer will also take this action and rotate the wheel, which stinks because my upgrade action has been kind of taken away from me for a bit. Okay, so I have a few options here. I just upgraded my gold production, which means that if I wanted to, I could go ahead and run my gold production again, or I could select this tile right here and take the special castle tile, which would potentially give me some red tokens, which wouldn't be bad, which is okay right now. Or I could just select a normal castle tile and match up these windows. Let's see here. Ooh, that might not be bad. Or I could just increase my gold production again, and when I do that, get some rocks because of my benefit. Oh, the choices. That might be a better option. Just increase my gold production 1 more time so that I can get kind of a cool benefit whenever I run my gold production. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm taking this one. I get 1 victory point, which is going to put me on the board. And then I'm increasing my gold production 1 more space, which will give me 1 gold. But the cool thing, so I increased my gold production, so a few things are going to happen. First off, I've hit this spot right here that has the little mining symbol, which means that I get to go and select one of these little cool benefits, bonus tiles, from the board. I can pick any one I want, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this token right here. Now, I have to upgrade the track where I got that bonus, so I have to put it right here. But the cool thing is now, whenever I run my gold production, I'm going to gain 5 gold, 2 victory points, 3 victory points, and a rock. But in addition, I also have this upgrade tile. So since every time I take this upgrade action as well, I gain 1 rock from this too. So all of that's kind of happening. So I took the increased gold production action, which is going to give me 1 more gold. Since I took that action, I also get to increase my rock supply by 1 because I have this. And then on future turns, I'm going to get a whole bunch of cool stuff for running my gold production. But that's for later. So far, all I've done is kind of set up that cool combo. But now the computer is going to take away the cool victory point tile right here. So instead of being able to take this later on and get a victory point, it goes away because the computer took it from me. And now we go over here. So it's my turn 1 more time. All right, so let's see. What are we going to do? We have some pretty awesome gold production. But we need to start getting some buildings out, because what will happen is if I don't get buildings out, that's kind of how all of the in-game points are triggered. So I haven't moved on these tracks at all. I haven't moved on this track at all. I haven't built that many walls, haven't built any walls yet, which walls are one of the ways you can get in-game points. and I haven't really moved up on any of these tracks yet. So I've got, now I need to kind of start getting my point production going. So what I'm looking for on this action is probably one of these two tiles. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to select, I say that, do I have any windows yet? It'd be sweet to have some windows too. But I'm probably going to select this tile right here. So if I select this tile, I have the benefit of paying a rock to get an egg. I think I want to do that. Eggs are fantastic anytime you can get them. Pay a rock, get one egg. Because at the end of the game, eggs are victory points. Eggs will also allow you to move up to higher cool spots on the bridge if you take that action later. But they're just all around really good. So I've done the bonus from this tile where I've selected, and I think now I'm going to actually buy a castle wall tile. So the two that I could get, there's some really good ones out here, honestly. I like the look of this one because it gives me a move on the castle track, and it also gives me 3 victory points that I could line up next to this one right here. Or I could get one of these two right here that would give me an increase in my gold production, castle move, and a red token. And I don't know that the red tokens are going to be really big for me in this game. I think I kind of want to move up on the castle track instead of the cathedral track. So I think what I may do is I might take this one right here. So this is going to cost me 3 stone to take this one right here. But I think it's going to be worth it. So I go down to 1. I then place this tile, and you place these tiles around your walls here, so you can place them adjacent to any of these tiles that you have. Now, since I've lined up these two windows right here, I gain the benefits from both window. So I would gain 1 white window token, and then I would gain 3 victory points, 3 King's Favor, whatever it's called. 1, 2, 3. And I also get 1 move on the castle track, which is great. So if I go over here to the castle track, I am now 1 space over to the left. It's actually called the Hunger Wall, not the castle track. This is a wall of hunger. I apologize. Now, before I move again on this track, I probably want to see if I can get another window so that I can move up 1 space, because that would give me 3 victory points. But the good news is that I'm now 1 space over here to the left, which will mean that every blue token at the end of the game is worth 1 victory point. So I'm on the board, so to speak, for the end of the game. Now I just have to collect some blue tokens, which I would get from building buildings. So kind of gotta do 2 things. I've got to build these walls and build the buildings to get enough blue tokens. So that being said, that's my action. I'm going to rotate this wheel. It goes right here. And then now the computer will take this tile, which I think we're about to, yeah, here we go. So we've already gone through 1 full round. We only have 2 more rounds to go before the game is over. Also, midway through this round, whenever this wheel right here touches this little golden star symbol, we will change over from era 1 to era 2 building tiles. So we're just about halfway through the game, if you can believe that or not. But the cool thing is I've got the ability to do some upgrades now if I want to. I could do a building or a tile upgrade. Let's see here. What would be ideal for me to upgrade? I could upgrade castle or building, and that might give me a benefit. I don't have either one of those available. So I could, if I wanted to, once per turn, spend a rock or a gold to clear out 2 of these tiles. So I could do that, and let's see what we get. Let's see. Let's spend 1 gold and clear out 2 of these tiles and see what we get. So let's clear out this tile and this tile. Yeah, let's clear those out. Oof. That's not good. That's not good at all. That was worse. I should have cleared out Blah. Okay, that's not good, but it's okay. I will just not take that action then. I don't think I really want to upgrade. I say that. I could upgrade my upgrade action, which would give me points, or a rock if I do it this way. And I could take the special tile. That's not bad. 4 points. Okay. Okay, I'll do that. Even though this is not ideal, I will take this tile, and since the bonus is a special tile symbol, I can take the special upgrade tile. So I'm going to go ahead and take that special upgrade tile. And I will upgrade my upgrade action. And I'll go ahead and leave this window facing the castle tile upgrade to see if I can get some type of adjacency bonus there. Now, since I'm still taking the upgrade action on this turn, I can actually retroactively apply this benefit. So this benefit normally says every time you take the upgrade action, gain a rock. Well, I'm currently taking the upgrade action, so I can retroactively get that bonus. That's the only tile that works that way in the game, where you can take the bonus right away. The other thing is this one gives me one more move on the university track, which is fantastic. So that being said, that's my turn. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate this wheel one more time. The computer will take this action tile. This will rotate, and now it's my turn again. Okay. So what got replaced out here? This special one says, oh man, every time you run your stone production, get a stone and a victory point. Golly, that's a really good one. It's not adjacent to anything though. That's the only bummer. Oh well, okay. So my options now are I can build a building, or I can build another castle wall tile. You know what I might do? So I said earlier I want to try and move up on this wall to get 3 victory points. I also want to run my gold production because my gold production is super powerful. Either that or I want to... Ooh, yeah, running my gold production at least one time might be a really good idea because it'll give me a whole bunch of stuff. And selecting this gold production tile will give me a window which will allow me to move up on this track over here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this tile. Now, because I've selected from the red zone, I have to pay 1 gold. So I'm going to go ahead and pay my gold down to 1. That's okay because we're about to get a bunch back. Then I gain a window. So I'll gain my 2 windows, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and spin those to move up on the hunger wall track. So if you spin 2 windows, you can immediately move up 1 space on the hunger wall track or the cathedral track. Since I moved up 1 space and covered up the 3 victory points, I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3 on that track right there. Which is pretty cool because at the end of the game, now, not only am I getting 1 point for every blue token, but I've also just gotten 4 victory points because I'm on the 2nd line of the hunger track. If I can move up to the 3rd level, I'll get 8, 4th level, I'll get 13, 5th level, I'll get 22 victory points if I can continue to move up the hunger wall. So that would be beneficial for me to do towards the end game. But that being said, now I can actually run my gold production. So I could, if I wanted to, I could increase my gold production 1 more time. That would still trigger this bonus, but honestly, I think I just want to run my gold production because it's going to give me a whole bunch of cool stuff. So first off, I'm going to get 5 gold. So I'm going up to 6, which will clear off this cube. And since I did that, I will increase 1 on the book track, which is going to give me a cool bonus that I'll do here at the end of my turn. So I'll wait to do that for now. But I have 6 gold. In addition to the 6 gold, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 victory points because there's 3 victory point symbols showing to the left of my thing here. So up to 10. Then I'm also going to get 1 rock from this token and 1 rock from my upgrade tile down here for a total of 2 rocks. So that, yeah, I was at 3, right? So that production bumped me up on a whole bunch of different ways. So you can see how, like, as you increase your production on these tracks, you can get some really cool benefits as you run those. But that being said, I've done all of those types of things. So now what I get to do is I unlocked a book marker right here by getting more than 6 resources or more than 5 resources, which moves me up 1 level on this track. Now this is cool because at the end of the game, basically you're going to get points based on how high you've gotten on these 2 tracks. It's a straight multiplication. So let's say I was right here at the end of the game, I would get 3 times whatever victory point is showing on this level. So if I was all the way up here, you need to remember I'm on space 2. If I was all the way up here on the 2 victory points, I would get 3 times 2 victory points at the end of the game. If you can get all the way up here, you get 6 times 2 victory points. So you can really get some big bonuses if you climb up on both of these tracks at the end of the game. But in addition, every time you move up 1 space on this book track and land on one of these 1, 2, 3, or 4 tiles, you get a, I'm not sure what they're called, technology tile? Yeah, technology tile. So when you take this action, you draw 3 into your hand. This is scripted, it's so nice. You draw 3 tiles into your hand, which I think I'm just gonna flip over 3 tiles. 1, 2, 3. And these are ongoing benefits that you get when you do these things. So this one, for instance, says anytime you increase your stone production, you gain 2 victory points. This one says, I believe every time you move, oh, if you hover over it, it tells you. That is so nice. Whenever you move up 1 row on the Cathedral or the Hunger Wall, you score 2 victory points. So that one could be really sweet. This one is also really sweet. If you ever basically gain a bonus from the wheel where you gain a victory point, you gain an extra victory point from this one. But honestly, I think, hey, what's up, Ben? How's it going? I think I'm trying out, Ben, I'm trying out the free version of Restream, so you'll have to let me know. I think it's supposed to like show Restream up in the corner, but you'll have to let me know if it's working out okay. I think I'm going to select this bonus right here that gives me 2 victory points every time I move up on one of the walls, because I plan on doing that a lot before the end of the game, hopefully, if things go well. And I think that might be more beneficial than the other 2 technology tiles. So I now have this bonus for the rest of the game. Anytime I move up on one of these 2 wall tracks, I gain 2 victory points. Your kids finally, yeah, mine did too. It was a rough battle tonight. They were not wanting to go down earlier. Okay, so I've done all the things. Now it is the computer's turn. And we're actually getting pretty close to where we'll have to change over the era tiles. So this wheel rotates. This goes right here. The computer will take the most advanced tile. There's no open space, so it has to rotate 1 more time, and now we're right here. So basically, this is the last turn that I will be able to take where I can select Era 1 buildings or tiles, basically. Now, the other thing, dude, Ben, yes, you would love this game. I really think you would. Anytime y'all want to hop on and play this, this is the next game that the Underwater Cities designer designed, and it's really cool. I like it a lot. This whole action selection wheel is really nifty. We're actually about halfway through the game. It's going to move pretty quick from here, but you can at least see how in-game scoring works. I think I'm gonna take this tile right here though, because it's gonna give me a few different benefits. First, I'm taking it from one of these blue zones, which means I'm gonna get 1 victory point, which that happens pretty rarely against the computer because they always try and take the farthest tile. So I'm gonna take that. In addition, I gained the benefit from the inside of the wheel because I've selected that tile, so I can spend a gold to get an egg. And that's really good because eggs are in-game scoring points, so I definitely think I'm gonna do that, especially since I just filled up on gold. The more eggs you have, the more victory points you can get at the end of the game if you don't spend them. You can also spend them to do really cool stuff during the game. But I will take that bonus, and then I can select one of the building tiles to do something pretty awesome. It's going to cost me some money some money and rocks to do that, but all of these are really good, honestly. So I love the idea of this one because it gives me victory points and increases my stone production, but I don't really know that increasing my stone production is going to be super helpful at this point in the game. It would give me one more little bonus tile, but honestly, this one right here seems really appealing because it'll give me 2 points. It'll give me an extra blue tile, which is going to be worth more victory points for me, I'm hoping, at the end of the game, and it'll give me another blue tile because of adjacency. So I think I'm going to do this one. So I'll take this tile, which is going to cost me 3 gold because it says 3 down here. So I'll go ahead and move this down to 2 gold, and I'm going to place it on this one spot right, I think right here. Yeah, I think I'm going to place it right here. So what I'll do is I'll place it right here, and I will rotate it to where the blue will match up with the blue, right? Nope, right there. There we go. So a couple of things are going to happen. First off, I've paid my 3 gold. I'm now going to get a point for every building that's around this particular tile or plaza where I'm placing this building. So there's only 2 buildings currently, but I can expand that out a little bit more. But I will get 2 victory points for doing that. So I go 1, 2. Then, in addition, I'm also going to gain the benefits that are showing here in the green window. So I'm going to gain 1 window tile, which will help me out later. And then I'll gain 1 blue hunger wall token, which is victory points at the end of the game. But in addition, since I lined up these 2 spaces right here, I also get another hunger wall token because I've got adjacency with those 2 blue symbols. So I'm actually going to get 1 window tile, 2 bonus tokens for the hunger wall, which is really great. And then I've gotten some victory points from building that building as well. So I think overall that was probably a pretty good move. And now what's going to happen is the wheel will rotate, this goes back here, and then the computer will select the farthest wheel or tile. It'll rotate again. Oh man, it does it automatically. How smooth is that? So in a 2-player game, whenever you're in the second round and this white arrow meets up to this yellow arrow, all of the tiles switch out. So we're now in era 2, where basically we have some more powerful, actions. The driest euros. Yeah, this game is super dry, but it's like right up my alley. I absolutely love it to death. The artwork is very cool. It's kind of like those. What do they used to call them, like the illuminated pages or whatever in all the old Renaissance books. It very much reminds me of all of that artwork. It's really nice. I like it a lot. So now we're in era 2. Is the only difference. There's just kind of different tiles out there. And oh my goodness. Okay. So this actually works out. Oh, it doesn't work out perfectly. I was about to say I would love to take this special tile. Dadgummit. So to take the special tile, I would love to upgrade one of my actions here. And I would love to upgrade the build a building action because I want to do that a few more times before the game is over. But I would have to get the special bonus right here to do that. And I don't have access to that right now, so I can't do that. So what I'm going to do instead is I think I'm going to try and clear out the track one more time, clear out these tiles one more time. So once again, on your turn, once per turn, you can spend a stone or a gold to clear out 2 of the tiles and try and get some better tiles. So I'm going to clear out these 2. I think I'm going to clear out, let's see, a gold and a victory point is not bad. I'm going to clear out these 2 tiles right here. See if I can get some better tiles for my purposes. Ugh. That wasn't great. I was looking for build a wall or build a building. So I didn't get what I wanted there. So instead of taking one of these tiles, I think I'm going to try and build a wall right here and move along the hunger wall track if I can. Because I want to try it the farther left you get on the hunger wall, the more each one of your blue tokens is worth at the end of the game. So I want to build more walls and I want to build more buildings to hopefully move along these tracks. But I'm going to take this one. It's not going to cost me any gold because I didn't take from one of the red zones. And I could, if I wanted to, take the special wall tile because it has the S as the bonus, as one of the potential bonuses I could take. Now, that being said, I don't actually know that I want the special tile, though. These tiles look pretty sweet. I could build most of them. Let's see here. I could build most of them. And if I built this one, it would just straight up give me 6 points. Although I think I kind of want to do one of these because it would give me a move on the blue track. So I think I want to do this one. Yeah, I think I want to do this one on the left. So I'm not going to take the special bonus. So instead, I'm just going to get a victory point. So I get 1 victory point as my bonus for the turn. I'm also going to take this one, which will cost me a gold and 2 stones. So I'm getting kind of low on resources. I may have to run production one more time. And now I can build this out wherever I want to. So I think I might build it. Let's see. I'm gonna have to move my action board here. In fact, let me do that really quickly to give myself some more room to build things. This one was right here. Let me lock it again. Okay, this one was right here. Where do I want to put this one? Let's see. You know what? I want to put it off somewhere where I'm not going to necessarily gain any adjacency bonuses from it, but it is going to do some cool stuff. Number one, it's going to increase my gold production, which is fantastic, because my gold production is getting better and better. If I can increase it one more, I could get an egg every time I run gold, which might actually be pretty sweet. And it's also going to move me 1 on the blue track. Now, I think my bonus only triggers whenever you move up 1 row. Yeah, whenever I move up a row. So it's not, it only triggers if I move up, not over. Whenever you get one of these little blue or red symbols on these tiles, you move 1 to the left or to the right. You don't move up. You have to spin windows to move up. So, but I do get to move to the left on the hunger wall, which is great because now at the end of the game, every blue token is worth 2 points for me. If I can move 1 more space to the left, I get a free move up the hunger wall. So I probably want to look at getting another castle tile pretty soon. But anyway, that being said, that is my action. I'm going to go ahead and move this. This one goes up here. The computer takes this tile, moves like this, and then, oops, sorry. Oop. Computer takes that tile, and then it moves 1 more space. Now it's my turn again. So I have some pretty sweet options here. I could build another building and get another window tile, which would allow me to maybe move up 1 space on the hunger wall again, but I may need to run 1 more production. Oh man, sorry, I need to replace this tile. Good grief. I need to get some in-game points, which means I need to get as far as I can on this track and then potentially, hopefully, build out some more wall tiles and maybe get higher on these tracks. I need to do all the things. So my options are, and I'm running out of turns. We're about to be in the last round. So my options are, I could buy a wall tile, another wall tile, although I'm getting pretty low on resources, so I probably need to run a production first. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and take this action, which is going to give me the ability to spin 1 rock to gain an egg, which is great, because now I'm going to have 4 eggs, which I think 5 eggs is like the max in-game victory point bonus you can get. And I'm going to get to run my gold production. So a whole bunch of things are going to happen because I've upgraded my gold production on this tile over here, and I've got a bunch of cool things on my gold production track. So I'm going to get 6 gold, which is going to put me up to 7. I'm going to get 3 victory points because there's 3 victory point symbols showing. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to get a rock from here and a rock from this because I'm getting a bonus for that. So I'm up to 3 rocks. And I think that's it. I think that's all I get. So that's my turn. I'm going to rotate. We're about to be in the last round, and then the computer's going to take this tile, it's going to rotate. We are now in the final round. 11 turns remain before the game is over. God, this game moves quick. Oh, nice, Ben. So we're actually, I'll tell you, Ben said he just built a new Kallax for his basement. Our home builder the person that we're building a house, they're building an upstairs game room for me. I told them, I was like, I want inset bookshelves, like off, just like in the drywall. And they were like, what size do you want your shelves to be? I'm like, I want you to replicate these shelves. And I sent them a link to the Calyx. So there's going to be a carpenter like actually build Calyx sized shelves, but out of, normal wood. Hoping they turn out well. They'll be inset to the wall to where they like won't kick out at all. All right. It is now my turn again. Okay. I want to build more walls. I want to build more upgrade tiles to see if I can get a bonus, hopefully. Oh, nice. There you go. So Ben is filling up every one of his walls with board game cubes. So now you'll be able to have a really cool like one in, one out policy. You'll be able to get like 100, 400 or 500 games before you have to start thinking about getting rid of some. Man, do I want to build another building? If I don't do that now, the computer's going to get rid of the building action, and I could get some more blue tokens from building a building. Would that be worth it? It would get me 2 gold, which honestly wouldn't be bad because that would give me 1 bonus. That would give me the bonus for getting all the way to the end of 1 track. Oh man, that might be the move. So if I do that, if I build a building... Oh wow, that could be huge. It would cost me 4 gold. Okay, so if I did that, it wouldn't get me to the end of the gold track. Oh man. So is it worth it? Is it worth doing that? I could do this one, and this one would get me all kinds of cool stuff. No, that's a special one. I would have to take the special action to do that. Good grief. Oh man, some of these are really good though. That would give me 3 victory points because I could build it in that same place. Is it worth it? Okay. Or I could build a wall, which would allow me to move 1 more space on the track, which would get me some pretty cool stuff. I think I'll do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this tile. I don't want to build the special tile, so I'm going to take a victory point instead of the special tile, and I want to build this one right here. So I'm going to build this one, and I can build it. Let's say I want to build it right. Oh man, there's not really a benefit for doing that right now. I could potentially set up an adjacent bonus right here, so I could put it right here. Then if I upgrade my King's Road building action, I could get some adjacency right there. Then, let's see. Okay, so I have to pay 3 stone to do that, which is all my stone. That's okay. It's going to be worth it. That's what, you know what? It's insulation. That's what board games are. If you do it right, board games are insulation. That's absolutely true. And then I get to move 1 on the castle track. Oh, no. I can't do that. I can't do this yet because if I do that, I'm not going to have what I need to pay to move up a tier. I got to rethink this. Oh, I got to rethink this. Okay, so instead of doing that, let's rethink this for a hot minute. Instead of doing that, I'm going to get my 3 stone back because I need at least 1 stone. I need at least 1 stone to do... I point back. I need at least 1 stone to do to move up the tier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 gold to refresh 2 of these tiles. So I'm going to refresh these 2 tiles. Actually, yeah, I'll refresh these 2 tiles and leave the special tile as is. That's not a bad special tile. I'll refresh these 2. See if I can get some good stuff. There we go. That's what I need. That one is the one that I need. Okay, so I'll take this one instead of the one that I just took. So I'm taking this one, so I'll get my point bonus again. I'm going to once again place this one right here, and I guess I'll place it in such a way that I'll get a red token. I don't really think red tokens are going to be worth anything for me at the end of the game because I'm not really moving up on the Cathedral track at all, but let's see. If I end up doing that for some weird reason, it might be a point or 2. I'm going to have to pay, let's see here. I'm going to have to pay a gold and 2 stone. So I will pay 2 stone. 1 gold. And then I get to move to the left one more time on the castle track, hunger wall track, whatever. I move to the left. This gives me a free move up 1 space because it moves me to the next tier. A few things are going to happen because of that. Number 1, I have to pay a gold and a stone to move up 1 tier. So I'll pay my stone, I'll pay my gold, but that is super worth it because every time I move up a tier, because of this technology tile, I gain 2 victory points. And now that I've moved to the left and up, every blue token is worth 3 points at the end of the game, and since I've achieved this level right here, I straight up get 8 points at the end of the game. So if I can spend 2 windows to move up 1 more space, I'll really get some cool bonuses for that. Oh, that's awesome, Ben. Yeah, green screening is really cool. I know like Paul Grogan uses a green screen. I know a few different streamers use a green screen instead of like the little window that I've got going on, which is kind of cool. I'm planning to set up in my new game room, hopefully like set up a really cool background where it'll look nicer than a green screen. But honestly, the green screen is pretty great because it's not intrusive. You're just kind of in the game and you're not taking up a whole bunch of space in the corner. Both are pretty good options. All right. That was my turn. That moves 1. The computer's going to take this tile and move 1. I don't have a lot of turns left. I think I really need to focus on, if at all possible, getting as far as I can on this track. So I need to get some windows. I think I have 1 window, so I need to get at least 1 more window. How could I get a window? And I need to move on the track. I could potentially kill 2 birds with 1 stone by selecting this tile, but to do that, I would first need to get some more resources. So do I need to run a production before I can do what I want to do? I think I do. And if so, what do I need to run? I think I need to run a gold production, which will give me 3 stone, I think, maybe. Do I run a gold production? I need some stone because what I need to do is I need to build a wall, another wall tile. Oh man, I might have to run a stone production. Either that or I could do this right here, and that would give me 1 stone. Oh man, bummer. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. Tough. Okay. How can I get what I need? I need more goods. And I need to take this action to build a wall if at all possible. So I might actually have to run a stone production, which would really bum me out because it would take away almost all of my gold. And man, that would be so much less efficient. I could get 2 stone. If I run my stone production, I could get 2 stone. Unless yeah. Oh man. Okay. I might not end up having enough stone unless I take one of these benefits right here. I could take that one right there. Oh man, gosh. This is just not ideal. I need to get some more resources before I can do what I want to do. Okay. I think I need to run my gold production. And to do that, I could do that right here at a cost of 1, essentially, because I would... But then would I have enough? I would need to have a stone building that only costs 2 stone. Let's see if I can make it work. All right, so I'm going to do this right here. And I'm taking it from this tile right here, which will give me 1 gold, which means I have to pay 1 gold to take this action. So I'm going to pay a gold down to 3. Then I'm going to run my gold production, which will give me 6 gold up to 9, which is going to at least unlock this benefit right here. Oh, that's fantastic, because that's going to allow me to take an extra turn. Okay, so this could be really good. Okay, so that will allow me to take an extra turn if I want to, because it's just giving me a gold window. So the cool thing about these windows is if you look on your player board right here, if you spend 2 white windows, you can move up 1 space on the action board, or on the one of the tracks. If you spend a white and a gold window, or 2 gold windows, you basically get to take one of these actions again on your turn as like a bonus free action in the game. It's really hard to do that, and I have what I need to where I could take a bonus free action if I wanted to. So I may be doing that. Before I do all that, let me make sure I get all my resources. So I got my 6 gold. I need to get 3 victory points because I've got 1, 2, 3 victory points. I need to also get 2 stones because I've run my gold production and I have this token right here. So I have 2 stone. And if I wanted to, I could take an additional action. Now I could do this on a future turn, so I may save these. The only thing is you can end your turn with only 2 of these tokens. So if I get 3 tokens and I would have to use them or I would lose one of them. But I may hold on to them for a second because there's not really anything. I may hold on to them for a second. All right, so that would rotate. Computer would take this tile, it would rotate. It would rotate again, because there's no open spot, and then this one would go right here. Now, what I could do is ideally, this action right here would give me a really great potential turn if I can get a tile that I can afford that would move me 1 space on the blue track. So let's see if I can make it happen. First off, I'm going to spend a gold to clear off these tiles and see if I can get what I need. I'm not going to clear off the special tile because I can't take the special tile from that spot. So I'm going to clear off this one and I guess this one. Let's see if I can get 2 really good ones. Oh goodness. Okay, that one doesn't give me what I need. Neither one of these give me what I need. So what I might have to do is use my bonus. Oh gosh, I might have to use my bonus action to just run my stone production, or I could run my gold production again, but that would waste a whole bunch of. I could run my, no, I think I want to run my stone production because that would get me up to 3. Actually, it's probably better to run my gold production. So I didn't get what I needed, so before my main action, I'm going to go ahead and take an extra turn. I'm going to spin these tiles to take an extra turn. And as my extra action, I'm just going to go ahead and run my stone production. So when I'm going to run my gold production. So when I run my gold production, I get 2 stone. 1, 2, I think I'm up to 4. I max out my gold again, but more importantly, I get 3 victory points, which is good. 1, 2, 3. Now I have enough to buy one of these tiles that will allow me to move on the track, which is really what I need to do. So I'm going to take this tile. And potentially, it can also give me... Oh man, if I put it right here, I could potentially get the windows I need by taking an upgrade action on a later turn. Okay. So I've placed this. I need to spend 2 gold and 3 stone. So I'm spending my 2 gold, spending my 3 stone down to 1. And I get 1 move on the castle track to the left. Oh, dang it. Although I didn't move up first. That's going to lose me 3 victory points, 4 victory points if I do that. Oh well. I need to move as far as I can, and then I need to move up, if at all possible. So I've done that. Now... Where's my action tile? Did I already rotate it? Did I put it back? I did not. Oh, I haven't taken my main action. I ran my stone production and I didn't actually take the action tile. Okay, so I took the action tile, I already built the wall, and then I get one window as a bonus. Okay. So now my turn now my turn is done. And I will go ahead and rotate this. And this goes away. The computer will now take the farthest tile, rotate this, this goes away, and I think I only have 1 or 2 turns left in the game, so I really need to make this count. I think I have 2 actions left. So I need to potentially get a window, and if at all possible, I need to get a whole bunch of windows if at all possible. How could I do that? I could take this one right here, which would give me the ability to build the special one, but I need 3 rocks for that, so I couldn't necessarily do that just yet. And if I can build another wall, that would also give me victory points as well, which would be good. Oh man. All of the things I need to do. All of these things I need to do. Okay. Give me that. That would cost me 3 stone. So I think what I might do is I will go ahead and take this action tile, which is going to give me 2 stone, putting me up to 3 stone. And I'm going to build a building tile. So of the building tiles that I can build, I think I want to build... this one right here, I think. Yeah. It cost me 4 gold. But it's going to give me 2 windows. I say that. Could build this one, which would increase my... Or just that one would give me 3 points. Now I think I want to do... Oh no, I don't want to do this one because I want to get more blue. I want to get more blue tokens. Or do I? If I did this one, it gives me an egg and 2 white tokens. If I build this one, it gives me 1 more blue token. Which would be pretty good because that would be maybe 4 more points. But then if I do, yeah, it's actually probably better if I take this and get the windows. I'm going to do this. I'm going to build this building that gives me the egg and the 2 windows. So that's going to cost me 4 gold. And I'm going to build it, sure, right here in this village so that I can get 3 victory points for doing that. So that's 1, 2, 3. I have to pay my 4 gold down to 3. Okay, so now let's see here. It gives me an egg and 2 white windows. So I get my egg, I get 2 white windows, and I'm going to spin those 2 white windows immediately, silver windows, not white windows, to move up 1 space on this track. So I need to move up 1 more space if I can, but I need 2 stone to do that. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Anyway, let's see if I even have another turn. Do this one, the computer takes 1 action tile, it rotates, and I think this is my last action in the game. So what could I do? I could build another wall tile. But it would take up all of my stone, which wouldn't allow me to move up this 1 spot, which would be 9 points. That's a huge difference. But that might be my best move because it would allow me to move up 1 space on this track, which would give me 4 points at least. And then it would get me 5 wall tiles instead of 4, which I don't know if that's actually enough. At the end of the game, I don't know if that's extra points. 4 is 10 points instead of 3, so I've already got enough to get 10 points. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to kind of squeeze out the most in-game points I could get, but it would also increase me, if I built this one, it would also increase me 2 spaces. which would allow me to get an in-game seal thing. Okay. Good grief, 1,000 choices here, everybody. Sorry. I think I'm going to go ahead and, just for funsies, I'm going to take this one right here. But why would I do that? Because if I did this, I could potentially get more points. No, I still think this is more points, and I'll show you why. Okay, so I do this. I get one white window, silver window, sorry, which I immediately, well, I'm not going to immediately spend it. I'm going to see what happens. I get one silver window. I am then going to build a wall tile, and I think I'm going to build this one. It's going to cost me 3 stone, but that is okay because it's okay. It'll be fine. I'm going to use all my 3 stone. It's okay because it's just a game. That's why it's okay. It's okay because it's a game and it doesn't matter. Although I want to try and do my best. I'm going to build this, and I will build it out here to potentially get an adjacency bonus on a turn that I'll never have, but that's okay. I'll do this right here. Then, because I've done that, I get to move up 1 space on my book track, which is going to get me a 2nd level technology, so we'll see if that does anything. I doubt it will, because these are all like ongoing benefits. But I could at the oh, that's not bad. Once per turn, if you gain the indicated token, score 1 point and gain the indicated stone or gold. Whenever you gain or buy an egg, score 1 point and gain 1 stone. Sure, I'll take this one. Let's see what that one does for me. I don't know if I'm going to gain another egg, but we'll see. We will see. Okay, so that's that. Let's see, what else? I also increased my production by 2 on the gold, which is going to put me at the end of the track, which you see these little seals right here. That means I have the ability, if I want to, at, you know, one-time benefit, I can unlock one of these seals. And this is pretty great because at the end of the game, I could basically spend a gold to get 2 victory points, and normally gold is worth nothing. Now, to do that, I would have to spend 2 windows to unlock this seal, or I could just take this seal that's just straight up 6 points at the end of the game. So let me see, how much gold do I have? I only have 3 gold. So I think, honestly, it makes more sense to just go ahead and unlock this seal, which will give me 6 points at the end of the game, and then save my windows to move up on the Cathedral track. I'll do that. Okay, so I've done that, I think that's my action, and I think, sadly, that is the end of the game, which I don't think I'm going to score that many points, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It does matter, Ben. It does matter. It matters. Okay, let's see what happens. This rotates. This rotates. That's the end of the game. Yeah, 1 space towards the hourglass. So whenever the cube moves off the track onto the hourglass, game's over. So this is the game. So now I need to score up all the things that I have. But before I do that, I'm going to spend my 2 silver windows to move up 1 space on the Cathedral track, because at the end of the game, if I'm on this space right here, it's at least worth 4 points. Ideally, I would have loved to move up 1 more space on this track, because it would have given me 5 victory points in addition to 22 in-game victory points. But to do that, I would have needed a gold and 2 stone, which I didn't have the stone because I didn't plan it out well. But that's okay. All right, so now we'll go through our in-game scoring, what we've unlocked. First and foremost, you will get points for any incompleted, let's see here. In-game scoring, you get points for any incompleted plazas, which I don't have any influence around any incompleted plazas, so I don't think I actually gain anything for that. Yeah, unresolved plazas. So in the full game, let's say for instance that this plaza right here, this plaza is not completed. And let's say I had placed a building that had one of my little resource cube spots right there. I would then resolve this plaza getting one of the bonuses. I scored my points right away whenever I placed these buildings because I didn't place the buildings that give you influence. So that one doesn't score. Then we get points for academics on your academics track, which I think is another failure for me, unfortunately. Because the academics track would be right here. Now, normally you would get this number multiplied by these victory points. So if I had gotten all the way up here, I would get like, 7 times 2 for 14 victory points. I only got here, so I don't get any victory points for that. But now I start getting into some victory point sections. So I get Hunger Wall and the Cathedral scoring. So first things first, on the Hunger Wall, I gained 13 points because I reached this level right here. So I gained 13 points for that. So 42. Now, I also get 4 points for every one of my tokens, my blue tokens, because I've reached all the way to the left on this space, which means every blue token is worth 4 points. So I have 2 blue tokens for 8 more points. 42 up to 50. Now, I get 4 points for reaching this level on the Cathedral track. So that's 54. And then I have 1 red token, but I didn't actually move any on the Cathedral track during this game, so I don't actually have any points for that red token, so that doesn't score for me. Now we would score for walls. So if you look over here, this is how many points you would get for the number of walls that you have. I think since I have 5, so I didn't quite reach the 6, but I did get 4, which is going to give me 10 more points for that. Up to 64. Then we're going to score for any in-game tiles that we might have reached or any seals that we might have reached. So I did reach 1 seal. You gain in-game tiles by getting to the highest level of the cathedral, which I didn't get, or by getting to the end of the bridge on the King's Road, which I didn't do at all this game, which honestly probably would have helped me out a little bit. But I did get an in-game seal for just straight up 6 points, so that's pretty cool. Up to 70. I'm getting nowhere close to what they say is a good score in the rulebook. It's okay. All right, and then I would gain points for all of my eggs. So 4 plus eggs is 10 points, and I have 5 eggs, which means that I get 10 more victory points for a total of 80. Now, let me just read you what it says about the solo variant. You're playing to see how high a score you can get. We think anything over 140 points is a good score. And then it just talks about if you're looking for a more challenging solo variant, go to deliciousgames.org.gov.uk. That's not a real website. I got 80 points. So if 140 is a good score, I think 80 is one of those scores where it's like, you played. It's like what I would say in the rulebook. But that's okay because I had a blast playing it. So I will say, recently I played this game multiplayer and I had my highest score ever because I got to the end of this track and I had like 6 or 7, no, not 6, 4 or 5 of these tokens. And then I also had maxed out my walls and had max eggs. So you can get a whole lot of points from getting to the end of this track because I missed 4 points because I didn't time the windows right, and then I didn't get to this track, which would give me 5 extra points, so I missed out on 9 points there, and then 9 more points for getting to the end of the wall. There's just, oh my goodness, there's so much that you can do in this game if you just think about it, and I didn't think about it. I need to play it again. Now I want to play it again to see if I can do better. And I've got it kind of set up on the table back here because I got some B-roll, so maybe I'll do that soonish. But anyway, that's the game. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it will be helpful to you if you watch it later and kind of want to figure out how the game works. That's how it plays. It's pretty much the exact same in a multiplayer version, but instead of the computer just removing a tile, players will take turns. And it's pretty much the same other than that. But hopefully you guys will enjoy the streams. I'm hopefully going to start streaming more often on my channel. I figured out that you can do restream for free, so I can stream to Twitch and YouTube and all the places. And I'm probably going to do more of these, just these solo streams, and just play more games like this that I really, really like playing. There's a whole lot of really awesome solo modes and these really big, complex Euros that I really enjoy. And then there's also some solo modes and some really straightforward, simple games that I love, like Mandala and Calico and all those types of games. So I'll hopefully start doing more of these solo streams. I'm probably going to try and keep it digital for a little while until I can get my physical space set up a bit better. I may try a couple of Marvel Champion solo streams before long, because, man, I want to play that game really bad. But, yeah, make sure and check back with me. I'll try and do these. I'll try and tweet out when I'm planning on going live, or do like a premiere or something, so you'll know that it's coming up instead of just randomly doing it like I've been doing. But yeah, come hang out. I think I may be streaming this week for Portal as well on Wednesday. So if I do that, come and hang out with us there. I need to put up a poll to see what we want to play this week. So yeah, come hang out with me there, and hopefully this was fun. I'll try and do this more often so that you can hang out with me here on the channel. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and log off, and I will hopefully see you soon.